Greetings, I'm Dev the developer. This lesson covers 3 tags for handling quoted content and self-contained media. The block quote, the figure, and the figcaption tags. These are semantic tags, which means they tell the browser and assistive technologies something about the meaning of the content and not just how it looks. Before we look at the tags themselves, it is worth pausing on what semantic means, because it will come up again and again in this course. A semantic tag is one that carries meaning beyond its appearance. The paragraph tag does not just add a box of text. It tells everyone reading the code and every tool processing the page that it is a paragraph. That matters for screen readers and for search engines and for other developers working on the same code base. The 3 tags in this lesson are semantic. They describe what the content is, not just how it should look. That distinction is worth keeping in mind as you use them. And with that in mind, let's look at the first tag. The block quote tag is for substantial quotations from an external source. If you are embedding a long passage that someone else wrote or said, block quote is the right container for it. By default, browsers indent block quotes visually, but the real value is semantic. This content is being quoted from somewhere else. You can optionally use the cite tag with a block quote tag to provide a reference for the source. As a quick note, the preview in Visual Studio Code may style this so it is difficult to see. This is because of the default CSS styling used by Visual Studio Code, not a typical browser. Open this in a browser and it'll look fine. For short inline quotations, use the Q tag instead, which we'll cover in the next lesson. Block quote is for longer block level quoted content. Beyond quotations, there's another semantic pattern worth knowing. The figure tag is for self-contained content that is referenced from the main flow of the document, but could be moved or removed without breaking the flow. That admittedly sounds abstract, so think of it like the figures and illustrations in a textbook. They support the main text, but the text keeps making sense without them. Common uses for figure include images, diagrams, code snippets, and charts. Figcaption goes inside figure and provides a caption or description. It can go before or after the main content inside the figure. Notice that figcaption is inside figure. That is required structure. The caption belongs to the figure element, not floating next to it. You can also use figure without figcaption if no caption is needed, and you can use it for things that are not images. A figure wrapping a pre-end code block to show a code example is perfectly valid. The key question is whether the content is self-contained and referenced. If it is something you could move to an appendix without confusing the reader, it probably belongs in a figure. These 3 tags work independently but complement each other. A block quote might appear inside a figure when you want to quote a passage and caption it with a source attribution that is visible on the page. The pattern looks kind of like this. Notice the cite tag inside the figcaption. That tag marks up the title of the creative work. Block quote for long quotations from external sources, figure for self-contained reference content, figcaption for captions that belong to that figure. All 3 tell readers and tools something meaningful about what the content is. That is semantic HTML doing its job. Try wrapping some content in each of these and notice what the browser does with it by default. Don't just watch it. Do it.